Hello and welcome sports fans to this live video streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local school districts and outstanding sponsors who make these live presentations possible. I'm Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Taylor Franklin coming to you live from Lakeview High School in Lakeview, Oregon, and we thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore pregame show, powered by Siskiyou Cellular in Southern Oregon and featuring the host Lakeview Honkers versus the Cascade Christian Challengers. We're pleased to bring you this game on TableRockSports.net in partnership with the Grace Cascade Christian School District and our sponsor, Business Partners. Joe Brett is the executive producer for this event. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. Please help Table Rock Sports by subscribing to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, search Table Rock Sports and click on the red subscribe button. And thank you if you already have. I'm joined here in the booth this evening by Mark McLemore. It seems like it's been forever since we've been here, but among all the memories that we have of being here, you couldn't ask for a much better night for a high school football game.
No, usually when we play here, it's freezing cold and the field is brown and ugly. And tonight, it's beautiful here, actually. The sun's just setting. The field looks great. Best shape I think I've ever seen it in. And, yeah, it's just beautiful weather over here for Lakeview in October. I don't think we could ask for anything better.
Well, the Challengers are coming off now. It's senior night and homecoming for Lakeview, so they're having their big pageantry night. For the Challengers, they're going to have senior night coming up for the home game against South Umpqua in 2 weeks. But the Challengers coming off a great big victory against the Phoenix Pirates last week, where it just seemed like, Mark, everybody got into the act, and given the fact that the Challengers have been hit with a little bit of an injury bug, it's been a good thing that the Challengers have that depth, because, you know, there's a few guys that maybe at the beginning of the year didn't expect to play much, but they're getting their opportunity.
Oh, they absolutely are. I mean, you can start it with the quarterback position, right? And you can work your way down through the running backs and all the way to receivers and linebackers and everybody else. That with the Challengers have had quite a few injuries this year, and there's been some depth that we haven't traditionally seen with the Cascade Christian Challengers lineup, that guys have stepped up, come in, and just really performed. You know, you take a guy like Ashton Moody, who played quarterback for the first part of the season, and now he's the starting linebacker due to some injuries and some other things that are going on. Or I think we're going to see Cole Shields a lot tonight at running back. Cameron Ragu with he's a little banged up from last week. So, yeah, a lot of different guys getting chances to play, and a lot of different guys at different positions, you know, than maybe they've been playing or have been featured at. They're going to be featured at tonight.
Well, what will be interesting is this is our first trip over here since I don't know when. It seems like it's been probably, I'm trying to remember whether your son Joel came over here senior year.
Yeah, I think it was Joel's senior year, because remember the game got smoked out and we had to come over here and play Hanley here at Lakeview. That was the last time we were here.
So, you know, for the most recent several years, the Honkers have been playing at the 2A level, and they were 2A semifinalists last year. We're looking at this team now. It looks like it's a little bit smaller, a little bit younger, with about 6-7 seniors on the team. However, you know, you don't take anybody lightly, and we see that Lakeview, I'm going to say, Mark, arguably probably the best opponent the Challengers have seen so far.
Very well could be. When you look at who their record this year, they started out the season with North Valley and lost 16-13 in a really close game. Beat Brookings Harbor 21-0 the second week of the season. Played South Umpqua, and we all know South Umpqua is pretty good. They beat them 41-0. St. Mary's, though, what a battle in that one. Lakeview lost 19-18, so they hung with right with St. Mary's. Douglas, they beat 38-12, and last week they played Coquille and beat them 33-28. So they're 3-3 on the season. They're a fairly good football team. I definitely agree that they're going to be one of the better teams we've seen so far this year, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up with the Challengers. I think the defense that the Challengers have played has just been phenomenal all season and has really been a problem for just about every single offense they've faced, and I don't see that really changing tonight. I think that the Challenger defense will continue to be strong, against this Lakeview team. And I think the key to the game will be if Lakeview is really able to move the ball against that Challenger defense.
Well, to your point, the Challengers have only surrendered 22 points in 6 games. You do the math on that, you're limiting your opponents to about the equivalent of a field goal a game.
Yeah.
And then you look at the points that they've scored, and crazy. Last week, 12 touchdowns scored against Phoenix. That's not going to happen every week. You take against, though, an opponent like North Valley, they scored 7 touchdowns in that game. And 6, 7, 8 touchdowns, that's been about their norm this year. But it'll be interesting to see how things look as Coach Gatman has to play a little mix and match. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we return, we'll be back with the Bills Glass Coach's Corner after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
An honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
New phone? Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bills Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bills Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bills Glass show you what you've been missing. Bills Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bills Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Coach's Corner. I'm Michael Reagan here with Cascade Christian football coach John Getman. Coach, last week your team played the Phoenix Pirates. What are your thoughts on the game?
We were pleased with the effort that the kids put forth. We were pleased with the execution. Obviously, it feels good when you win a game, but just, there's contributions throughout the whole team. It wasn't necessarily just one guy that made all the plays, so we're excited about that.
Keith Reed has returned to the lineup. How do you think this will affect Ashton Moody's role in the team?
Last week Ashton moved to and started at outside linebacker for us, and he was great. I mean, he brings a lot of excitement to the defense, a lot of energy to the defense. I mean, he really plays pretty physical, and so you could see it. I thought that he made a big difference for us defensively.
Yeah. How is the general health of your team? When do you expect Matt Moses to return?
The health of the team is right now we could potentially go into the game with 4 starters out. Brandon Van Wart broke his hand, so he'll be out at least a couple more weeks. Although, got good news. It looks like Tristan will be able to play this season, which we weren't sure about. Matthew Moses, hopefully he'll be back next week. He'll be out this week, but, overall it's looking good. He had an infection, and the infection's gone away, and it just has some swelling in the hand and some stitches there. So we'll see. He goes in for an appointment on Friday, and we'll see from there.
Well, this week you play Lakeview. What do you expect from them?
They're defensively. For us, they show multiple formations. So for us, it's about aligning to what they're going to show, whether it's under center or gun. I think that the tailback is pretty tough, and the quarterback can throw the ball. Defensively, they're going to be big up front and try to kind of, I think, clog up our run game. So that's kind of what we're expecting to see, and we'll see how it goes from there.
All right, well, thank you, Coach Getman. You've been listening to the Bills Glass Coaches Corner. Stay tuned for more of our pregame show after these messages.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Back here at Lakeview, and a shout out to Michael Reagan, one of my broadcasting students at Cascade Christian High School, doing the Bills Glass Coach's Corner. Bills Glass is the clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bills Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass. Michael did a good job in your first effort. By the way, tonight at halftime, Becca Miracle will be along with Daniel Nearing for the first of our senior spotlights. Right now, Mark, you've been kind of watching festivities out on the field, and it looks like we've settled who gets the ball first.
Yeah, Lakeview is going to receive the Challengers won the toss and deferred. So they'll kick off a little bit of, action for the Challengers. They like to start on defense, it seems like to me, most of the time if they do win the toss. And so it's going to be a defensive effort to start for Cascade Christian.
All right, the officials for tonight's game. Referee is Robbie Cecina. Umpire Ian Nichols. Linesman Eric Thornton. Line judge Colton Wright. And back judge is Timothy Murphy. Jim McCoy here along with Mark McLemore and Taylor Franklin, getting ready to bring you all the action here at Lakeview High. Homecoming and senior night for the Hawkers, who come in with a record of 3-3 midway through the season. A team coming back up from the 2A ranks where they were semifinalists last year. Getting ready to kick it away for the Challengers will be Mason Hoffman.
And definitely Lakeview's best win of the season last week against Coquille, where they won 33-28.
And then for the Honkers, a couple men back deep. Brayson Granger wears number 4. And back there with them, wearing number, looks like 81. I don't see it on the roster here, but a short high kick. And now let's go ahead and meet the starting lineup for the Lakeview Honkers. We'll get that out for you. Quarterback is Benny Alvis Jr. He'll be joined in the backfield by Brandon Marcus and Redden Libb. The receivers, Nick Maida, Denver Johnson, and Brayson Granger. And then we'll get the line for you after the snap.
So they come out with 4 receivers, 3 to the right, left and 1 to the right.
1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Alves going to drop back and throw his pass, looking in the direction of Granger, and it's a little high. Pass defended there by Ashton Moody. Let's go ahead and take a look again at that offensive line for the Honkers. The left tackle will be Hunter Greer. Left guard, Adrian Stubbs. Center is Wyatt Julian. Max Gallagher's the right guard. Right tackle is Colton Ashford. Second down and 10. Got a single setback. Looks like that's Brandon Marcus with them. Going in motion is Nick Maida to the right side, where trips are now lined up. Second down run, and he runs into a wall. Speaking of walls, let's talk about that defense for the Cascade Christian Challengers. The lineup for them goes as follows. Up front, it will be Liam Bonatti along with Daniel Nearing and Jackson Turi. Linebackers Ashton Moody, Bryson Jackson, Brody Sample, and Cole Shields. At the corners, Luke Wilson and Tyler Almacy. The safeties, Christopher Freilich and Peyton Maurer. No gain on the second down play. That'll bring up a third down and 10.
And what's going on? There's some discussion by the referees here.
Just inside the first minute to go in the ball game. There you can see your John L. Scott.
There's something going on with the line marker, apparently. A little equipment issue over there. Now they have it fixed, or at least they think they do. Still 3rd and 10, though.
So Lakeview trying to get something going here. Well, Alves at quarterback, wearing number 9. He'll work out of a shotgun set. Spread formation. Alves dropping back, getting some pressure, looking downfield. Overthrows his intended target. Coverage there by Brody Sample will bring up 4th down.
Had him open, but the pressure from the Challenger defense looked like Ashton Moody in there as one of the guys putting some pressure on the quarterback, and he threw that ball really before he wanted to, and incomplete. So 2 incomplete passes and a run for no gain there on the first possession for Lakeview, and the Challengers now ready to receive the punt.
Brody Sample and Tyler Almacy will be back deep to receive for the Challengers. And not unlike Brookings, your car earlier in the season, Taylor will be having to try to work around the posts a little bit. Sample there with the return. He's going to go up to the far sideline, gets close to midfield, where he is run out. Let's meet that Challenger offense.
By number 10, Brody Sample brings it out to the Cascade Christian 49-yard line.
Offense for the Challengers will look as follows tonight. Looking for Keith Reed at quarterback. Cole Shields will join him in the backfield. Tyler Almacy, Brody Sample, Peyton Maurer, and Christopher Freilich, your receivers. The offensive line, Jack Nips, Bryson Jackson, Daniel Nearing, Liam Bonatti, and Jackson Turi. 1st and 10 at their own 49. Reed getting his first start of the year, the senior quarterback, injured in the preseason.
Ashton Moody in the backfield with him. Watch for something different here.
Looks like they're going to go ahead and hand it out there to Almacy. Almacy breaks a tackle. And he'll work it up past the 35-yard line for another Challenger first down.
Nice run that time by Almacy. Some good blocking out in front of him, so they really used Ashton Moody that time out of that backfield spot as a blocker.
So the Challengers, first down. Defense for the Honkers, Hunter Greer, Owen Patterson, Wyatt Julian, Redden Lim, Colton Ashford, Adrian Stubbs, Max Gallagher, Denver Johnson, Nick Maida. We'll clear this out real quick as Reed wastes no time getting to the air, looking for a man toward the end zone.
Just unloading that one as he really didn't have anyone open down the field. He was looking for on the slant route. It was covered that time by the Lakeview defense, and so he kind of rolled out the opposite direction of where he initially looked and didn't have anyone open down the field.
So that's secondary for the Honkers, Denver Johnson, Nick Maida, Brayson Granger, and Brandon Marcus. So for the Challengers, that will bring up second down and 10.
Well, and you can see how Lakeview's kind of crowding the box here. Challengers knew that. You heard Coach in the interview talk about how he thought they were going to try and stop the run against Cascade Christian, and so far, box is pretty packed with people trying to stop that run game of the Challengers.
Shields in the backfield. Reed going to drop back, look to throw, looking in the direction of Peyton Maurer. Overthrows his intended target. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Keith's got to at least throw that in the field of play, give Maurer a chance. That one thrown 4 or 5 yards out of bounds.
Opening drive for the Challengers. Cameron Ragu not in the lineup tonight. Had a little bit of swelling and just no need to really push him at this point. And this will give Shields a senior linebacker opportunity to see a little bit of action right there. He'll pick up 2 yards on the play, and that will bring up a 4th down and 8.
Well, and you're in that area of the field that you're going to go for it here for sure if you're the Challengers, all the way down the Lakeview 30. See what they got in mind here on 4th and long. Would have liked to have seen a few more yards out of Cole there to give him a little shorter distance to make up here.
Twin receivers to either side. Shields in the backfield. Freilich in motion. And it'll be Reed who will take off with the football. He has running room. Powers his way toward the end zone. Touchdown, Challengers.
32 yards on the scamper by Keith Reed. Good decision that time as he sees no one take him. Everyone's going with the back, and he pulls the ball out, cuts it back across the field. Nice run and a good touchdown to open the game for Cascade Christian.
Let's see if we got that out in time, and I don't think we did. There's a certain thing you have to do to reset every game, but Challengers get on the board first thanks to the touchdown run by Keith Reed. Challengers, point after attempt.
There's flags.
Flag on the play.
I'm guessing it's going to be a false start on the Challengers.
So they'll add a little measure of degree of difficulty for Hoffman that we have seen him do. Actually, it's offsides on Lakeview.
Oh, well, there you go. A little bit closer for Hoffman.
Hoffman, the kick. Up, end over end. It's good. And the Challengers take the 7-0 lead. We will take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll have more football action coming your way on TableRockSports.net.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chickens, mouth-watering chicken, and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Cascade Christian leading this one by a score of 7-0. Challengers getting set to kick it away, end over end. Once again, kind of a short kick. And the Honkers able to avoid some of the pitfalls that have befallen other return teams, Mark, and they'll get decent field position out of this, but I think the idea that you look at this, and if you're a Challengers fan, you look at what they've done defensively, that this is more than acceptable field position.
Yeah, absolutely, and nice drive that time by the Challengers. 5 plays, 51 yards, concluded by a 32-yard scamper by Keith Reed for a touchdown. Just like that, the Challengers on the board quickly. Had to convert that touchdown on a 4th and 7 or 8, but able to do that and get the touchdown.
Lakeview going to the ground game, and the Challengers just swallowing that up.
Marcus with the carry.
It'll be Brandon Marcus.
Go game.
And really nothing doing on that play to bring up a 2nd and long.
Yeah. Challengers very tough against the run this year. Well, last week, I think Phoenix had a total of 8 yards rushing against that Challenger defense.
Well, I think one of the challenges that Lakeview's going to run across, they're not a very big team. Both their running backs, about 150, 155. Elves, the quarterback, about 160. He's going to roll right, look to throw, has a man downfield, looking in the direction of Granger.
Trying to run a little pick play there with their wide receivers, that you could see them sort of crossing paths and trying to scrape off the Challenger defenders, but good pressure by the Challengers and the ball well overthrown, and nice coverage downfield by the 2 Challenger defenders as well.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for Lakeview. Coming in 3-3, coming off a nice win last week against Coquille. Alves now out of shotgun, and Coach Getman did mention in the pregame he expected a lot of different formations. Alves pass complete, making the catch is Denver Johnson. He'll be short of the first down.
He picked up about 3 yards on the play. Nice job by Brody Sample coming up and making a good tackle on that play. And now 4th down for Lakeview, and they're in punt formation again.
Honkers getting set to kick it away. And a long, low line drive kick.
Line drive, punt by Hunter Greer, goes out.
Hunter Greer, the punter. And it may not be a thing of beauty, Mark, but it's effective at least in that it'll put the Challengers a little bit back in their own territory.
Absolutely. The result was good. The kick might have not been pretty, like you said, but it was a good result for them, and the Challengers backed all the way up to their own 30.
Well, you want pretty, go to an art museum. Otherwise,
it's football.
Results and function are a little more the order of things. Receiver to the near side is Peyton Maurer. A little bunch of receivers over on the left. Little pitch play, Brody Sample. He's going to go ahead and take it to the outside, gets first down yardage and a lot more as he scampers upfield.
Tackle made by Denver Johnson.
16 yards on the run, and I'll tell you what, you see how Brody can scoot once he gets going, as he got around the edge there and picked up about 16 yards and a first down.
Sample coming into the game with 83 yards on the season on just 9 carries. See, basically averages just about like every other running back for the Challengers, a first down every time he carries the ball.
Yeah, he's been good on the fly sweeps and also on screen passes and other things they've had him run the football with as well.
Reed dropping back, looking to throw in and out of the hands of Tyler Almacy to bring up second down.
Yeah, Almacy wanted to turn and run up the field before he caught the football, and good throw by Keith Reed right on the numbers, but couldn't catch it. Got to catch it before you run with it.
That'll bring up a second down and 10. 7:27 to go in the first quarter of play. Challengers on their second series of the ball game. Keith Reed scoring on a 32-yard run on the opening drive of the game. They'll throw out, and they go right back to Almacy. Almacy makes the catch this time, and he goes into honker territory. And that will give the Challengers another first down.
Yeah, nice run after the catch by Almacy, dodging in and out of some traffic. Picks up 13 yards and a first down, and first completion of the game for Keith Reed there on that play.
Almacy, third leading receiver on the team, coming into tonight with 9 catches on the season. Making his first appearance of the night, Drew Hall, in his second game of the season, split out wide to the right wearing number 11. On first down.
Hand up the middle for a short gain of about 3 yards.
That's Cole Shields.
First tackle made by Hunter Greer.
Gets 3 yards on the carry.
Shields, 132 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns. Basically the number 3 running back, but Wallace has been out for an extended period of time with an ankle injury, and then we've also seen Cameron Ragu have quite a year, but he is out of action tonight. Now Ashton Moody in the backfield.
Again.
Kind of makes me think he might be running, don't you think? But instead they hand to Moody.
And he lost a yard or 2.
And good play defensively by Hunter Greer. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 7 for Cascade Christian.
Brings them back. 3rd down. About 11.
Say about a loss of 4 yards on the play to bring up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 9 actually. I think you were right the first time.
Yeah.
You don't always listen to that PA announcer, Jim. You were right.
Having played that role once or twice, I should know better. Pass complete by Peyton Maurer. Maurer catches it, gets it down to about the 33-yard line.
Christian ball comes loose.
Challengers have it. It's near the 1st down marker. I think they may have to measure this. And they are going to take a timeout for a measurement.
So the chain gang will come out.
It's an official's timeout for a measurement on the field.
So that'll bring up an official's timeout. Thanks to our sponsors for empowering our live high school athletic streams, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Also, thank you to our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you.
Short by a foot, Jim.
Half a yard
Well,
short for the first down.
I don't think there's much doubt that
well, if you went for it last time on 4th and 9, I think you're going for it on 4th and a foot. What do you think?
I think so. And then, again, we've talked about some of the gaudy numbers the team has put up on the season.
Well, remember we haven't seen them run it this year, but remember they have the play where the quarterback runs up under the center and snaps it quickly and does a sneak. This is the kind of area, this is the kind of play that you would do right here. Just go right behind big Danny Nearing and let him push the pile forward. Let's see if that's what they do.
Reading the shotgun, Almacy in motion.
Now they're going to hand it to Cole. Nope, Keith's going to keep it.
And Keith Reed does a good job of selling the fake to Shields.
Mm-hmm.
And he picks up 1st down yardage for Cascade Christian.
First down. Tackle made by number 40, Brandon Marcus.
Yeah, every time he carries the ball so far, he's made that was a really good read that time. Kept it, went around the end for big yards for the Challengers, all the way down to the 15. 16 yards on the carry.
Reed in the backfield along with Shields. Reed fakes right, little pump fake there.
And he's going to get sacked.
And a little kind of a touch sack there. Just kind of stumbled there.
And he's got to throw that ball a little quicker.
Yeah.
Number 76, Colton Ashford.
Colton Ashford there closing in on him.
Yeah, and he's lost about 10 yards on the play.
So the Challengers, couple of bumps in the road early on in the ball game, but leading in the ball game 7-0.
And off up the middle for a short run.
And
it was
go to the ground game.
Shields for about 3 on the play, right up the middle. 3rd down now for the Challengers and 10.
Well, 3rd and long for Cascade. 2 receivers to each side of the line.
See if they go over to to Sample, Brody Sample. He's open on the outside edge here.
Reed. Little shake and bake there. And a nice run by Keith Reed.
Short of the first down, I think. It's going to be fourth down again, and about 6 yards on the carry by Reed.
Brings up fourth down for Cascade Christian at about the 9-yard line.
So Challengers working it down to the 9-yard line. Reed claps his hands together, and they'll hand it to Shields. Shields rumbles, bumbles, stumbles his way in for the score.
The Challengers pulling out all the stops on fourth downs. That's the second touchdown they've scored on a fourth down.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the running play there by Shields. Shields in the backfield, and of course, and that's one of the challenges here at this venue, is the post kind of
in the way
gets in the way every now and then, but you do see him squirting through at the end of that, rolling towards the end zone and scoring a Cascade Christian touchdown. And now into attempt the point after. Mason Hoffman, true to the mark. And it's a 14-0 ball game here in the first quarter with 3 minutes to go. We will take a quick timeout, and then we'll return right after these messages.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Cascade Christian set to kick it off.
Make sure a visit to Tap Rock Northwest Bar and Grill on the banks of the Rogue River is included on your next trip to Grants Pass. First-class food and a new menu awaits you. The gem of the Thomason Hospitality Group, Tap Rock. Challengers getting set to kick off. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Shallow but high kick. Some good blocking sets in front of the honker return man. That'll get it up to near the 40-yard line. But for the good field position, the honkers thus far have run into a wall called Cascade Christian.
Yeah, the defense has been really tough so far. The honkers with 3 yards of offense in the first quarter on that little screen pass they ran. Other than that, they haven't gained a yard. So it's been that defense we've talked about all season of the Challengers really stepping up right here. And so far, 2 3 and outs for Lakeview.
1st and 10 for the honkers at their own 39-yard line. Alves at quarterback under center. They'll go with a 3-man running back set there. But they, once again, run into a wall of Cascade Christian Challengers.
Red and Lynn on the carry. Not much there.
Up 2nd and 10 from the Lakeview 39.
Challengers doing a good job of plugging all the gaps, and nowhere for Lynn to really run that football.
Lim, sophomore, 155 pounds. He's lined up as one of the backs. As you can see there, they kind of got that 3-man set behind the quarterback. Now, Alves,
Intended for Denver Johnson, falls incomplete.
and he's looking for Denver Johnson, who's wearing number 81 tonight, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
the Challengers doing a good job again of putting some pressure on the quarterback. And one thing about that defensive line, they kind of stand up the offensive line, and the Alves is having a little bit of trouble seeing over the line of scrimmage. There's so many big guys right in front of him.
Well, we talked about early in the season that there's, in addition to just all that muscle, there's a lot of height on this Challenger team. Alves looking for a man.
Good
pass, nearly caught.
Good defense by Peyton Maurer right there as he comes across and tips that ball, hits the receiver right as the ball's getting to him, and just some great individual defense right there by Peyton Maurer.
Play by Maurer, a pass intended for Nick Maida, and that will force the Honkers to kick it away once again.
Yeah, nice job again by the Challenger defense.
Hunter Greer getting ready to kick it away. So one of those unusual situations where you have a lineman doing the kicking chores.
Yeah, and he's both punts so far have been kind of line drives.
He takes the snap, gets a good kick away this time. Deep to Sample. He takes it at the 19-yard line. He'll go ahead and scramble to the left side, and a big league hit by Lakeview.
Yeah, nice hit. I think that was number 67, it looked like, for Lakeview. Owen Patterson with the hit. Excuse me, it was Adrian Stubbs. My bad.
Stubbs, junior, 180 pounds, and he gets one of those ESPN Sports Center plays. Big hit on Sample. Challengers, though, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Reed dropping back, looking straight down the middle.
Oh, Brody, unfortunately, ball thrown a little bit behind him, and he kind of tripped over the defender. So Keith just a little bit off on that one.
Well, and you figure at this juncture of the season, you're talking about a guy that making just his first start.
Yeah, I like the route, and he was open. They did not have a safety in the middle of the field that time, and Keith with a good job of picking out the right receiver, just not quite the right throw that time.
2nd and 10 for Reed. He'll go right, looking for Maurer.
And that one's dropped. A little behind Maurer, but probably, I think even Maurer would tell you that he should have caught it. So now 3rd and 10 for the Challengers.
On my count, that's second drop pass by the Challengers this evening. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. But what's been good for Cascade, anytime, even when that's happened, that they've been able to turn around, bounce right back, and keep it moving. 3rd down and 10 with 1:36 left to go in the first.
And the Challengers don't like what they see. They call timeout.
So timeout called on the field. Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and our friends from Pinnacle 365. Download the Peak Rewards app to earn free fountain drinks and coffee. Cascade Christian coming in with a 6-0 record on the year. After tonight, they will go over and take on their crosstown rival. It'll be on their home turf, but they'll be the designated visitor next week against the St. Mary's Crusaders. And then they close out the regular season with a big highlight date against the South Umpqua Lancers.
Yeah, not pretty expected that both teams are going to come into that game undefeated, and it's just going to be a barn burner, I think.
Yes. Well, you know that it was the Lancers that beat the Challengers on their homecoming night last year. So I think Cascade, that'll be one of those rare occasions where they'll be going into a game with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, that game might even be even bigger than their rivalry game with St. Mary's.
Yeah, very well maybe, because the South Umpqua Lancers and the Challengers have really gone back and forth against each other the last few years.
Reed picks up the football off the turf. We also have a flag on the play. And usually when you see a flag in the backfield, it goes against the offense.
Legal shift, and they're going to decline it.
Cascade Christian finding themselves in a unusual situation in that
they're going to be punting.
I can't remember the last time they punted.
And who is going to do the punting duties?
That Moody has handled that a little bit this season.
Mason Hoffman's in there.
Looks like he's on the
Keith
line.
Keith Reed looks like he's going to kick it.
Oh. Reed does a little roll out there.
That's a terrible, not a very good punt.
And it'll end up, the Honkers end up with great field position here, a short field. They're at the Challenger 38-yard line with 1 minute left to go in the first quarter of play. So a little bit of kind of a ragged first quarter for Cascade.
Well, an opportunity here for the Honkers is what it is. They have very little to show for themselves so far offensively, but big opportunity right here for the Honkers to take advantage of that good field position you mentioned.
And we have a flag on the play. Expecting a penalty here against Lakeview.
Nope, they're going to call offsides against the Challengers, which is a little bit of a surprise, as you and I both saw the same thing. Looked like the offensive lineman moved first.
So this will make the task a little easier. Now it'll bring up a 1st down and 5 for Lakeview.
Cascade Christian 34.
Mason Hoffman in there playing the nose guard spot for the Challengers.
And they'll hand the ball to Marcus. Marcus! Easily.
There's a hold.
So a good run by Marcus, but then there might be a reason for that.
Holding against Lakeview.
So this one's going to come back.
So Cascade just got their first penalty of the game on that offsides, and the Honkers now pick up their first penalty on the hold.
So this will take it back to the 45-yard line.
Challengers with a little bit of a break there, as they did have that short field and 1st and 5 there a minute ago, and now it's 1st and about 18 yards to go. Clear back on their own 45.
Elves getting some pressure, completes the pass. Looks like they're tackled by, Luke Wilson. Granger with the catch.
He gets about 3 or 4 yards on it. We'll give him 4. 2nd and 14 now for the Honkers, and looks like they might get one more playoff here before the end of the quarter.
Rushing to the line, Denver Johnson wearing 81, split out wide to the left. Alves. And looked like Sample may have jumped. Unless he was drawn off.
No, he jumped. You guys cannot do that. You've got to wait for the snap. A free 5 yards, you're giving them right there.
Bring up 2nd down and 9. At the Cascade Christian 37 yards.
So the ball will be spotted now at the 37 of Cascade Christian. Lakeview coming out with trips to the left. Alves hands the ball. A little bit of running room there for Marcus. Marcus gets it down to about the 32-yard line, and that will end the first quarter of play. It hasn't been a pretty quarter, but the Challengers out front 14-0. We will take a timeout, and we'll be right back following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Here they are right in
game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
We love our sports here.
It's our responsibility to keep them great. And we need you to know your role.
You can be a player.
You can be a coach. You can be a spectator.
Or an official.
But you only get to be one. Know your role.
Parents, release your kid to the game.
It's my experience.
Don't yell at the refs. They have a hard job.
Know your role.
Players, respect your opponents.
Love to play, win or lose.
Know your role.
So what do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Start of the second quarter, and we got a flag on the play.
Offsides on the Challengers again. And that's going to give them a first down. I didn't see that one. Did you see that one?
I did not.
The penalties against Cascade Christian.
So the first down of the game for Lakeview comes via the penalty.
At the Cascade Christian 25-yard line.
So it has not been the kind of series that a defense wants with all the penalties that we've seen along the way.
Yeah, wait a minute. The running back moved, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on him. I'm like, holy moly. How many penalties are we going to have in a row here? We're trying to set the new record for penalties without running a play.
You know, it kind of seems like I recall a few seasons back that at this location, although it was Cascade Christian versus Henley, where we just saw a slew of penalties, what ended up being a very long third quarter.
Oh, yes. So now, instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15 for Lakeview at the 30-yard line.
In the backfield, Marcus, along with Alves, the quarterback. Ranger in motion. They'll hand it to Marcus. Marcus has blocking on the right side. And Daniel Nearing there with the pursuit for Cascade Christian.
Brings it down to about the Cascade Christian 26-yard line. Second down.
Looks like it'll be about a second down and 11. Ball tipped and it's picked off by Cole Shields. Shields with the football, running up the right side. Cascade Christian dodges a bullet. Big play defensively by Cole Shields.
And they've kind of done that all year, has the defense. When they need a big one, they've got a big play. And that's a nice job there by Cole Shields on the interception.
Oh, Cascade Christian with 10:51 left to go in the half. They take possession of the football. They'll be at their own 38-yard line. Look like we'll have Sample in the backfield now, along with the quarterback Keith Reed. Receivers to the near side of us on the left side are Christopher Freilich and Tyler Almacy. On first down, Reed will kick the football, and Reed very close to a Challenger first down.
I think he's going to have it.
And you are right, Mark.
It's a first down run. Makes it first down and 10 from the Cascade Christian 49.
So Keith Reed coming up big with his feet this evening. Gets the Challengers near midfield. Reed hands the ball. Sample scampers down to about the 45-yard line. Denver Johnson making the stop for Lakeview. But a good pickup on first down. Pickup of about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, the Challengers a little rough so far in that passing game, just 2 for 7 for Keith Reed. A couple of drops included in those incompletions, however.
2nd and 5. I'll hand it for Sample. Sample loses the handle on the football. And Lakeview takes it away.
Got to hang on to that football, and when you're Sample not used to running in between the tackles as much this year, that can happen, and ball gets knocked loose and out, and Lakeview will take it over.
So the Challengers, after they forced a turnover, they end up committing one here, and Lakeview gets it back at their own 42-yard line. 3-back set behind Alves, the quarterback. On first down.
Challengers in the backfield kind of messing up the timing of that play.
There's Marcus with the carry there. Almost kind of a, will you say that's almost kind of like a veer look?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a triple option kind of look almost with the 3 backs in the backfield. They're trying to get more blockers at the point of attack. So if you put 3 backs in the backfield, the other 2 can run interference, so to speak, and do some blocking for the 3rd guy.
2nd down and 10. Alves now out of the shotgun, trips to the right. And a timeout called by Lakeview.
Timeout on the field. Lakeview. That's their first timeout.
So with 9:04 left to go in the first half of play, Cascade Christian leading, as you can see on your John L. Scott scoreboard. Let's go ahead and pause for messages, and we'll be right back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
How do you find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line.
For the first month only, right? That's how they get you.
For as long as I want. Why so skeptical?
I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line. Even just one. Only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive US Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
2nd and down and 10 for Lakeview. Full house backfield. And to Marcus. Marcus looks like he'll pick up a couple as he tries to squirt his way through the middle. See down there in the middle of that pile, Daniel Nearing. As Liam Bonatti gets ready to check into the Challenger lineup, and Mason Hoffman, who's seeing some time on the D line tonight, comes out.
Yeah, it's good that the Challengers have been able to use Mason in that role, as they're a little bit short on the line the last couple of games, and he's filled in nicely at that on the defensive line.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. Alves going to roll out under pressure, looking downfield, and he caught it, but he looks like he should be out of bounds.
And we got a flag down as well.
Brought down by Grayson Granger. However, there's a flag on the play.
Illegal shift. So they said he caught that ball.
He didn't
look like he was in bounds, but the Challenger's going to take the legal shift penalty anyway for 5 yards. Actually an illegal shift, but he turned up the field. You could see the referee telling the coach, turned up the field before the ball was snapped. Remember, when you go in motion, you can't turn up the field until the ball's snapped.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 15. Alves with Marcus the single setback. And stepping across that line, Grayson Granger.
Well, Lakeview's trying to do a lot with their snap counts to keep the Challenger defense off, a little off balance. You can see him doing that. That time, one of the receivers not paying attention to the snap count, jumps offside.
So that'll take the ball back to the 33-yard line and bring up a 3rd down and 20 for the Honkers.
Challengers should play some loose coverage here and try to rally to the football.
Alves takes the snap, looks downfield, pass complete to Marcus. Nearing
with a nice job there.
Just kind of reached out, and I tell you what the strength of those arms manages to pull down the receiver Marcus, and that'll bring up 4th down. I'll pick up 5 yards on the play.
Nice job by the Challenger defense of keeping their focus there and keeping Lakeview short of the 1st down line, and opportunity now after the fumble that they gave to Lakeview to get the football back.
Greer, line drive kick. Sample, going to chase it down. Has a little bit of trouble for it for a moment, but picks it up, and he'll go ahead and scamper to the outside. And it looks like he'll be just outside the 20.
Tackle by Adrian Stutz on the punt return.
Yeah. Well, that ball, once it hit the turf, man, it just took off, didn't it?
It did.
At the Cascade Christian.
Sample had to go quite a ways to get back and pick it up. And you mentioned that he bobbled a little bit, too, before he really got going. So Challengers with a long field to go here. Clear down at their own 16-yard line. 1st and 10.
Reed, the quarterback. They'll hand off on 1st down. And Cole Shields with it. He breaks a tackle. He gets up near midfield. And the biggest run of the night for Cole Shields. Timely with the Challengers back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, nice hole opened up by the offensive line. And you could see Cole saw it, and he burst through that hole and just really accelerated through the hole and was able to get 37 yards and a Challenger 1st down.
So Cascade Christian now into Honker territory. Reed hands the ball. And on this carry,
Shields again.
Shields will end up losing about a couple yards on the play.
Yeah. Good job by the Lakeview defense of shooting the gap there and getting Shields in the backfield.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. Maurer and Freilich, the receivers, to the right side. In motion is Sample. Reed going to take off and run with it.
Quarterback Keeper up the middle. Tackle made by Brandon Marcus.
Keith doing a good job of reading that play, seeing that there's nobody there, nobody staying home to pick up the quarterback, and he's picks up about 9 yards on the play and puts the Challengers in 3rd and short.
Reed with Shields in the backfield. And he'll go ahead and keep it. He bursts through. 1st down yardage and more. He'll take it down inside the red zone down to the 15 of Lakeview.
Yeah, 14-yard gain, or 24-yard gain by Reed right up the middle. And boy, they are not accounting for the quarterback so far in the run game.
So it'll be a 1st down and 10.
175 yards rushing now in the first half for the Challengers.
Timeout called on the field. We will go ahead and keep it right here. Table Rock Sports thanks our regional sponsors, including Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less, John L. Scott Real Estate, and Travel Medford, and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission. Great partners in keeping high school athletics streaming for you.
At Talltown Viking Camp.
So this is just one of those games where you kind of go and take what the defense gives you, and what the defense is giving them is running opportunities and taking advantage, particularly tonight, has been Keith Reed.
Yeah, and they have not accounted in their defensive scheme. They're accounting for some of the running back runs, but really not accounting for that quarterback run. Keith has had some big open gaping holes to run through, and has done a good job of accelerating up the field to the second level and making some nice cuts once he gets there to get even some extra yards before the Lakeview Honkers have a chance to take him down.
5:02 left to go in the half. Ball spotted down at the 14-yard line. Reed out of the shotgun. And he'll go ahead and take off and run with again. Walks it right in for the touchdown.
Challengers on the board again. Keith Reed, the 14-yard run.
So we'll go ahead and show the replay for you right here. Reed fakes that handoff so well and just runs it right in like it's nobody's business. Extra point attempt by Hoffman is good. 4:56 left to go in the first half. Challengers lead in the ball game by a score of 21-0. We'll go ahead and take a timeout and be right back here on TableRockSports.net.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
Broadband internet.
Today's game is brought to you by Schlesinger and Villeneuve, attorneys with practices throughout Southern Oregon, and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful and civil behavior at youth sporting events. Challengers getting ready to kick it away. Mason Hoffman getting set. So far tonight, the Honkers been able to dodge danger on kickoff returns. This time, Hoffman getting off a longer kick.
Wow, nice kick.
And I believe that might be the first touchback of the year for Mason Hoffman.
And here's a surprise for you, Jim. Score of the night, or game of the night, that's a surprise to me. Grants Pass up 27-0 on South Medford.
Woo!
27-0 Grants Pass.
Wow. It's been, I tell you what, it's been some kind of season in Southwest Conference football. There's no question about that.
You know, the Cavemen having the night, it sounds like, over there. That's in the second quarter, by the way. Oh, they just get going for the extra point, and they're not going to get it. So it's going to stay 27-0 Grants Pass in the second quarter.
Al's in the backfield under center. Ringer in motion. And a nice run by the Lakeview Honkers all the way up to past the 40-yard line. And that gets the crowd here on homecoming night fired up here at Lakeview.
First big play of the night for the Honkers. 24 yards and a first down. .4:33 to go in the second. The Honkers at their own 44-yard line.
On first down, Marcus with the football. Looks like he'll get it right just about into Challenger territory.
Couple of nice runs, some nice blocking that time by the Honkers. Big 7-yard run there on first down. So 2 excellent runs by Marcus there for the Honkers over that left side of their line.
So the pickup of 6 on the play will bring up a 2nd down and 4. 3-man backfield. They'll hand the ball. For a moment there, looked like he was going to break a tackle, but Tyler Almacy there with a big tackle for Cascade.
Yeah, Tyler came up from his safety spot and just laid the wood to him.
3rd down and 4.
Challengers got some penetration in the backfield, but Marcus able to shake that off, but Almacy comes up quickly, closes quickly, and gets the big tackle.
Big 3rd down opportunity now here for Lakeview. The first little drive they've had of the game so far.
Logan Suba in the backfield along with Lim and Marcus. Dropping back, looking to throw is Alves. Grayson Granger, senior receiver, making the catch and picking up a fresh set of downs for his Lakeview Honkers.
Yeah, nice little out that time. Good throw, good catch, and a first down for the Honkers.
So Lakeview matriculating their way into Challenger territory, trailing 21-0 here in the first half of play. 2-man backfield with Lim and Marcus. They'll hand to Marcus. He'll pick up a couple of yards on the play, but he's brought down defensively by Cole Shields.
Yeah, nice job by Cole Shields getting there from his linebacker spot and making a nice tackle after about a yard gain.
So Shields becomes a very important part of the Challenger defense with leading tacklers such as Brendan Van Wart and Cameron Ragu out of the lineup. But coming into the night's action, he's the leading tackler on the team is Shields with 38 on the year.
And he's playing that middle linebacker spot for the Challenger defense.
2nd down and 9. It just kind of becomes a standoff, pushing him back. Jackson Turi.
Timeout, Cascade Christian. 1:34 to go.
So 3rd down, and we'll call it about 8. Challenger's going to take a quick timeout here. And maybe we'll just go ahead and do the same. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
You an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
Caleb and the staff at Howard's Drug.
Here at Lakeview, 1:34 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at halftime, our senior spotlight on Daniel Nearing for the Challengers, who's seeing a lot of two-way action with Matt Moses out of the lineup. Alves dropping back, looking to throw, getting some pressure. And there with the defense for the Challengers, Peyton Maurer.
Yeah, good, nice read by Peyton Maurer to get in there and break that pass up.
That brings up 4th down and 8.
4th down now for Lakeview. It is on the Challenger side of the field, on about the 41. I'm guessing they're going to go for it. See Cole Shields limping a little bit as he gets off the field for the Challengers. 1:28 to go here in the first half. Challengers lead 21-0. Big play here for Lakeview. 4th and about 8 yards on the Challenger 40.
Into the ball game, Zachary Dooley wearing number 80. He's split out wide to the right, along with Granger, and now moving over is Maida. Alves looking to the sideline.
And they're going to try to get the Challengers off sides, and then they're going to call a timeout. We'll see if they choose to punt or not after this timeout.
So we got 1:28 left to go in the first half of play. John L. Scott scoreboard showing the Challengers up 21-0. Fans, it's time to get back in the game. As an official, there's a critical need in all sports right now. Go to osaa.org and click on the blue Become an Official button to learn more. We hope to see you back out on the field or the pitch or the court sometime soon.
Headland and Associates, Sean Greenfield.
And I'm sure the Challengers are being reminded not to jump off sides here. As you saw Lakeview try to draw them off the last before they called the timeout. Curious to see. I'm guessing they're going to go for it here. I see looks like the offense back out there on the field.
It'll be Dooley split out wide to the right. In the backfield along with the Alves is the running back Marcus. Maida, slot receiver to the right side. Little pitch play. Marcus now a little bit of reverse action. Granger
wants to throw it, but there's nobody to throw it to.
So Sample there to kind of bottle it up. And then we got Jackson Turry around the football, Bryson Jackson, and Peyton Maurer.
And a short loss of about a yard on the play. And Challengers are going to take over the football.
Cascade Christian will take over.
Challengers get it back on downs. 1:18 left to go. And Reed in at quarterback, but joining in the backfield is Ashton Moody.
Well, Cole Shields got banged up on that last defensive series and went out of the game.
Reed dropping back, looking long, looking for Drew Hall. Pass just a little bit long, second down.
I like the call. Stretch the defense a little bit. Nice throw by Keith.
Covered by Denver Johnson. Falls incomplete, brings up second down.
Denver Johnson back there on the coverage for Lakeview.
And that was good coverage by Johnson as he was on the correct side of the receiver and just blanking him all the way down the field.
Second down and 10. Challengers at their own 42-yard line. Reed dropping back, rolling right. Got time. Now he's going to load up and throw. He's got Peyton Maurer. He makes the catch, and he makes the touchdown.
Yeah, nice job. Good throw, good catch, and a touchdown for the Challengers. 58 yards on the throw and catch.
Little pitch and catch action between Reed and Maurer. That's how you do it. And that's one thing that you get with Keith Reed at quarterback. The guy's got a gun.
He threw that ball quite a ways, that's for sure.
And of course, you got to love it when you have a nice tall target like Peyton Maurer to throw to. Looks like adventures in special points.
Teams. Yes, absolutely. Oh boy.
So penalty against Lakeview, which may in part explain some of the foibles on the Challenger side of the ball.
Yes. Offsides on Lakeview.
Mason Hoffman. And Reed's got it. And he's just going to go ahead and jump it and throw it away.
Chuck it into next week.
And that's one of the things you love to see on the field when you play hard, you compete hard, but you compete with class there. Logan Suba for Lakeview helping up Keith Reed after he chucked that one away. So 58 seconds left to go in the first half. Coming up, we'll have the Medford Parks and Rec halftime report coming up. We'll take a look at the highlights from the first half of play. Also have the stats for you. And our senior spotlight.
And of course, the entire crew at TNet Broadband.
Here at Lakeview, the Honkers, they have their homecoming festivities coming up at halftime this evening. And right now, tonight, Cascade Christian's own homecoming king having a night with a touchdown pass and some electrifying runs.
Cascade Christian set to kick off.
Well, Mason Hoffman will get set to kick it away. He uncorked a nice one on the last kickoff. This one gets it back to the 20, so pretty nice kick there. Johnson with it, and he's dragged down to the turf.
Good coverage that time by the challengers.
For Cascade Christian, saw Briley Richardson seeing some action there on the coverage.
Yeah, you mentioned it, some different challengers getting opportunities to play here with some of the injuries that the Cascade Christian challengers have had. Cole Shields, though, I do see back in the game, so that's a good sign.
Yes.
I suspect he got his ankle, based on the way he was hobbling, I suspect he got his ankle sort of taped, but we'll see.
Challengers with 53 seconds. Sight set on Benny Elves. And he's going to go ahead and take off and run with it.
And right into Jackson Turi. That's not exactly where you want to run it.
I don't think that was probably a part of the plan. Turi kind of falls into that immovable object category.
Yes. Especially when he's got a little forward momentum coming toward you.
Yes. Turi at 6'4", 215 pounds. Second down and 8. Single setback is Marcus. Alves looking downfield. Coverage back there with Freilich. Denver Johnson was the intended target.
Third down and 8.
Good coverage down the field that time by Freilich.
Well, Freilich, one of the many Freilichs that we have seen come through the Cascade Christian program.
Yeah, that's why you can just say Freilich, and it's probably somebody out there.
Yeah. Just make sure you get. The big key is to make sure you get the right one.
No, that's the hard part.
Although I'm sure Christian's probably smiling down in Arizona every time I accidentally say his name.
Yeah, probably.
Christopher Freilich, Jr. for Cascade Christian, wearing number 1. Third down at 8. Alves, a little bit of trouble. Throws it right to Shields, who gets his second interception of the ball game. And he'll go ahead and run it up to about the 20, and that will end the first half of play. It's halftime. And the Cascade Christian Challengers lead in the ball game by a score of 27-0. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll be back with the Medford Parks and Rec halftime report coming up following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
What do you do when you get into a car accident and want to know your rights? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So what do you do when you get injured on the job and need to know your rights with workers' compensation? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Some days in fourth place we have the juniors. In third place we have the freshmen.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
It's halftime. The Cascade Christian Challengers leading the ball game 27-0. And let's go ahead and take a look at some highlights from the first half of play. The Cascade Christian Challengers got on the board first. Keith Reed scoring on a 32-yard touchdown run, the point after good, to make it 7-0. And then with about 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter of play, it was Cole Shields getting on the board for Cascade Christian. Kind of hard to see behind that post. One of the challenges of a covered grandstand, but you'll see Shields come into your picture. He'll roll off the left side. He'll run it in for the touchdown and extend the Challenger lead to 14-0 after the Challenger extra point by Mason Hoffman. We may have missed the first touchdown run by Keith Reed, but we didn't miss this one. Reed running on a 14-yarder. The point after, good to make it 21-0 after the extra point. Reed doing a nice job of selling the fake. Then he ends up running it in. He scores. And after the point after attempt by Hoffman, it's 21-0. But not only did he do damage with his legs, also Reed did damage with his arm. Here later in the half, and corks a long pass down in the direction of Peyton Maurer. Maurer runs up the right sideline and walks it in for the score. The Challengers, kind of a busted play on the point after attempt, and the score ends up settling in at 27-0 on the touchdown pass to Maurer. That was a 58-yarder from Reed to Maurer. What we will do is take a timeout. When we return, we'll be back with our senior spotlight. Becca Miracle will be on hand with an interview that we did yesterday with Daniel Nering. That will follow these messages on TableRockSports.net. Stick around. We'll be back with more following this timeout.
The class of 2023 is represented by Nicholas Maida.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chickens, mouth-watering chicken, and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Welcome to the Medford Parks and Half Rec Time Show. It's time for our senior spotlight. Tonight we return to the spotlight on Daniel Nearing. What's your position on the team?
I'm the center, long snapper, and defensive tackle.
Nice. Who's your closest friends on the team?
The whole offensive line as a whole, we're all just a bunch of buddies. Obviously, Keith Reed, the quarterback, and Ashton Moody, we get along with them really well, too.
Where did you start to play football?
I started in 6th grade because I loved watching football on the TV, and I wanted to play in the NFL, and just like playing football now.
Do you plan to go to the NFL for school?
I mean, it's a long shot, but I mean, it'd be fun to play in the NFL, but I want to play in college for George Fox.
Interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Nearing was our special guest tonight for Senior Spotlight. Stay tuned. When we come back, Mark will have the halftime stats. This is Medford Parks and Rec Halftime Report on Table Rock Sports.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Welcome back to Lakeview. It is halftime on homecoming and senior night for Lakeview. The Challengers leading in the ball game by a score of 27-0, and it's been kind of fun tonight to incorporate some Cascade Christian Broadcasting students. We heard Michael Reagan in the pregame, Becca Miracle, and I think with that being her first time out and being new to it, and Daniel not being probably a really big talker by nature, I think if we'd made the interview go on a whole lot longer, I think the both of them would have had a panic attack. So, but it was great to hear from them, and it's always good to get the kids involved.
Yeah, and right now we can see them starting up the bonfire over across the way.
Oh, yeah. Well,
for homecoming.
We haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, we haven't. So that's going to be a fun thing for them, I'm sure, after this football game. However, the first half wasn't very fun for Lakeview, I don't think, as the Challengers' defense did what we thought it would do in that first half. Held Lakeview to just 3 first downs, one of them by penalty, so only 2 first downs, moving the football. And both of those came in that one drive where they managed to finally sneak into Challenger territory for a short period of time. Running the ball, Lakeview 14 carries for 44 yards in the first half. That's just 3 yards a carry. Passing for Lakeview, Benny Alves was 4 for 13 for 18 yards. So just 62 yards running and passing for Lakeview in that first half. A nice job by that Challenger defense, as we've seen or been accustomed to this year, of the defense really taking charge of the football game and just not allowing much yardage at all by the other team's offense. There was also 2 interceptions that Alves threw in that first half, both of them picked off by Cole Shields. And so a great job by the Challenger defense. Return yards for Lakeview, they had 25 return yards. Total offense for the Hawkers in the first half, 87 yards. They also had 5 penalties for 27 yards, and a turnover on downs as well. So two interceptions and a turnover on downs in the first half for Lakeview. That's 3 turnovers that the Challengers took advantage of 2 of those. one was right at the end of the half, if you remember correctly. For the Challengers in the first half, they had 9 first downs. They ran the ball 18 times for 189 yards. That's about 10.5 yards a carry, so you'll take that all day long if you're the Challengers. Passing, Keith Reed, 3 for 9 for 80 yards. Return yards, 15. Total offense for the Challengers, 284 yards in the first half. So really nice first half for Cascade Christian. They did have 3 penalties. All were offsides penalties. That defense getting a little anxious. And they did have 1 fumble. Brody Sample fumbled the ball here when they were taking it into Lakeview territory, deep in Lakeview territory, for the 1 turnover for the Challengers. So pretty good first half. I'm sure they're discussing a little bit about taking care of the football would be the one thing they're talking about. I'm sure you never want to turn the ball over. And then secondly, I'm sure they're going to try and do a little more in the passing game, I would suspect. Just 3 for 9 in that first half.
Well, I think the name of the game tonight, especially given the fact that Keith Reed making his first start of the season after injuring his elbow in the preseason, that getting him some reps. You can kind of see the decision-making. His mental skills are just as sharp as they ever were, if not even more so. He's matured into a senior. But there have been a couple of times where maybe the throws just weren't quite on the money, where we know that he's capable of being.
Yeah, absolutely capable of making those throws. And, that's really why you want to get him in this game and get some rhythm going with him, as, they have the civil, not the
Holy Bowl.
The Holy Bowl, I was trying to think of that. They have the Holy Bowl next week against, of course, St. Mary's, and you want to get them some opportunities to throw the football here. So I kind of expect to see the Challengers throw the football a little bit in the second half.
All right, the Medford Parks and Recreation Department invites you to discover all the great classes, field trips, activities, and sports leagues for the fall activities coming up. And there's always something going on. So make sure you visit playmedford.com to find something for everyone in the family. We'll pause for messages, and we'll be back with more as we get ready for the start of the second half. It's the Challengers 27 and the Honkers nothing. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
We love our sports here.
It's our responsibility to keep them great. And we need you to know your role.
You can be a player.
You can be a coach. You can be a spectator.
Or an official.
But you only get to be one. Know your role.
Parents, release your kid to the game.
It's my experience.
Don't yell at the refs. They have a hard job.
Know your role.
Players, respect your opponents.
Love to play, win or lose.
Know your role.
So what do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Welcome back to our Medford Parks and Rec halftime report. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore. And, of course, we have this opportunity right now to show our appreciation for all of you that have become subscribers via YouTube to Table Rock Sports. And want to remind you that you can go become a YouTube subscriber, and what that gets you on the inside of is that you'll end up getting notices of all the games that would be available to you for in-demand viewing. So maybe you're like us. Maybe you're at the ball game tonight or following this Challenger game. Then you hear about a score later and you go, well, I wonder what happened in that ball game. And you can go to YouTube and check out the action there and get up to date on what happens. Plenty of great on-demand viewing, and that's all simply accomplished by becoming a subscriber to Table Rock Sports via YouTube.
Update real quick from that South Medford Grants Pass game. Halftime, Grants Pass up 27-7 on South Medford.
Well, and I tell you, like I said, it's been some kind of crazy season. I know South Medford jumped out to a pretty good start. There was a time in the season where wasn't sure about how things would play out for North Medford, but they've had a good long run and had some real highlights to the season. We've also seen Grants Pass have some good games, and then down here at the 3A level, you mentioned St. Mary's, the Holy Bowl coming up next week, and St. Mary's with Tyler Del Planch at the helm as quarterback has had a good season in his own right. And, they've played tough football. They've had some tough games, but they have found ways to win. So it will be interesting to see how things play out down the stretch. Again, next up for the Challengers will be St. Mary's next week. And then in 2 weeks, it'll be senior night at Lithian Driveway Field number 10 as the Challengers take on the South Umpqua Lancers. And we'll have all of that for you coming up. Our halftime report is brought to you by PlayMedford.com, where you can learn about Discovery Preschool for 3-year-olds and day camps for older kids. You can sign up at PlayMedford.com or call the Santos Center at 774-2400 to get started.
Another score real quick. Sheldon up 28-6 on North Medford at Spiegelberg.
And, of course, Sheldon, well, that's, I suppose, among all the surprises, one thing that has not been Sheldon doing Sheldon things.
No, that's not really a surprise, I don't think, right there on that game.
All right, we'll take a quick 2-minute break, and then we'll get ready for the start of the second half. It is the Challengers 27 and the Honkers nothing. We'll be right back after this timeout.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first-name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do, and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Hit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into Turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free. Add Crunch to your lunch as you head into Turn 3. Fuel up for the remainder of the race with your Peak Rewards app and save at least 16 cents a gallon. Your daily journey to the winner's circle starts at Pinnacle 365.
Computer.
For sure.
Back here at Lakeview, Cascade Christian Challengers getting ready for the start of the second half. The team is out on the field getting their warm-ups taken care of. Got to imagine that they're probably, with the homecoming festivities this evening, that they might extend a little bit of grace toward the teams as they get ready for the start of the second half.
Yeah, good first half for the Challengers. That one fumble really, was the really lone large mistake that the Challengers made. They take that in for another. They could have possibly taken that in for another touchdown. But other than that, pretty clean game for the Challengers. Good job offensively running the football. Little struggles here and there throwing it. I'm curious to see if they come out throwing it a little bit in the second half just to see if they can get some sort of rhythm for Keith.
Well, he had that big highlight play on the touchdown pass to Peyton Maurer. And, I think some of what we've seen in terms of the sloppiness this evening has come at least in part from the fact that you figure Reed making his first start of the season, Sample seeing time at running back where he's pretty much operated out of usually a slot position throughout much of the year. And so you got a couple of guys that are kind of in positions that they're not really used to a whole lot. And when you get through that and you think, well, how hard can it be? All you got to do is they hand you the football and you run with it. But, let's just say this. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Oh, absolutely. Another score checking in real quick. St. Mary's up 42-6 in the third quarter over Brookings. So St. Mary's will more than likely come in with just the one loss to play the Challengers next week. So Challengers hopefully finish this deal here, come in undefeated again and against the one loss Crusaders. Be a heck of a game next week.
It sure will, and it has been an active week for Cascade Christian Challenger Sports. The girls' soccer team, 1 up and 1 down this week. They picked up a 6-4 victory against Coquille on Monday. Then yesterday played a very tough and unbeaten in conference play North Valley team and lost by a score of 4-1. The team under Jonathan Hillis is now 4-6-1 in league play this year. So after just one victory a year ago, they're coming up there. Yesterday, the cross-country team played ran in the Crater Twilight track meet out there, and a number of challenger runners ended up very strong outings. Tan Landers, I know a guy that will see in basketball.
Absolutely.
And also Michael Reagan posting a PR. He's kind of a newcomer to cross country. Then Nash Crisp, freshman with a good run. And then over on the girls' side, Sage Griffin and a couple of others whose names escape me right at the moment. Miley Scaglione, a senior who's new to cross country, posted a PR in that meet as well. And then the volleyball team, it was senior night for them last night, and they celebrated with a sweep of Lakeview.
So how are they looking for the playoffs so far?
Well, right now, that Challenger volleyball team, they've won 6 in a row, and they come off beating some tough teams last week. They split against a couple of powerful teams. They played Salem Academy, top team in the 2A, and beat them. And then they took Santiam Christian, a perennial powerhouse in the Oregon 3A, played the 5 sets, and it had to go to tiebreakers. It had to extend out before Santiam could get the win. So, 3 seniors on that team, but a team that even out with one of their best outside hitters out of action have put up a good, strong, solid effort this season. They're right now in a tie for second place behind Coquille in the Far West League.
Good for them. I believe 3 teams go to playoffs from the Far West League.
They'll have a league playoff to determine seeding, so there'll be opportunity for them, and that'll be coming up this next week. So Lakeview gets ready to kick it away. Challengers will receive it to start the second half. And it'll be a short kick.
Wilson there to collect it.
One of the good hands people for the Challengers.
Luke Wilson.
Of course, Luke, kind of a mainstay in that Challenger secondary, but we'll also see him from time to time at wide receiver as well. Not a particularly big guy, 5'6", 135, but we saw some of that speed on display last week.
Lots of speed. Lots of speed from him. And it looks like they're going to stick with some Ashton Moody in the backfield.
So we've seen a little bit of him this evening. And presumably as a running back with Reed in the lineup. But, if you got both of them at the same time, you know something's up their sleeve eventually.
Oh, eventually.
Reed dropping back, has time. He's going to uncork the throw, looking long for Peyton Maurer.
Kind of threw it on the wrong side of Peyton.
Back there with the coverage is Denver Johnson, and it will be second down and 10.
Haven't seen a lot of the quick passes tonight that we normally see from the Challengers, like tunnel screens and slants and those kind of things, dump-offs to the tight ends. Not a lot of that going on so far. I'd like to see a little bit of that in the second half, some of the rhythm throws that the Challengers usually will make. Second and 10 here.
Challengers at their own 34-yard line. Single setback, Ashton Moody. Behind the quarterback, Keith Reed. Trips to the right. And Reed, once again, but this time, back there, that is Lim.
Yeah, that was not a good read by Keith. He should have handed that ball off. And, every once in a while when you're playing quarterback, he's made some great reads in the first half where he kept the ball and got some huge gains. But that one, he read that wrong, should have given it off to Ashton Moody instead.
Moody comes out of the lineup. In for the Challengers. We got Reed back there and Cole Shields. They'll go ahead and hand to Tyler Almacy. And Stubbs will make the stop for Lakeview to bring up fourth down.
Brings up fourth down and about 8 yards for Cascade Christian.
Give him about 2 yards on the play.
So Challengers are going to have to punt it, or are they going to punt it? Doesn't look like they're going to punt it, Jim. I don't like this call. I'd like to see them kick the ball here, play some defense, and get it back.
Reed looking to the sidelines, and who knows? They may eventually kick this.
They probably will.
And then Reed carries the football. And he picks up the Challenger first down.
Yeah, gets about 10 yards on the play. And, again, I still don't like that call, to be honest with you, Jim.
No, me neither. There's just too many times, but maybe in a game like this, up 27-0, you feel like it's a risk you can afford to take.
Well, and I think you're right about that, but I still would like to see them play, because they're not going to be – you might be able to do that against a team like, like Lakeview. But when you get in a real football game later in the season, I want to see them play the percentages and punt the football, if you know what I mean.
Right. And it's got to be something that whoever's handling that chore is prepared to do. Reed going to drop back, looking long. Overthrows his intended target, Tyler Almacy. And it'll bring up second down.
And you can see some of that rust with Keith's location of the football. That football, if you notice, Almacy had his cover guy was on the outside of him, and you got to throw that ball, lead him to the inside so that he can go get the football away from the guy that's covering him. And that time he threw it to the outside is where his cover guy was. So, again, some of those things that will be talked about, I'm sure, with the coaches as they go forward.
Well, and once again, you do wonder a little bit about not seeing some of that short game. Although and a pass incomplete.
And that was open. That's that tunnel screen. Remember, I mentioned that earlier, and I would love to see him complete that because I think Brody had some running room.
So now that'll bring up a third down and 10. So Challengers with some success in the running game, but some moments but some tough moments as well with the pass.
Not a big fan of that call either.
No.
So now, what are you going to do? 2-yard gain there by, was that Shields, I think?
Yeah, it was Shields. So they're at midfield. So that's kind of an interesting spot on the field.
Looks like they're going to go for it again here.
But no, to be fair, it does look like they're a bit out of sorts this evening. But
Well,
this is the opportunity to work it out.
In the passing game specifically. Running game has been really good.
Reed dropping back, looking long. He has Mauer.
And he overthrew him.
And the challengers will turn it over on downs.
Love the call. And he's got to throw that where Peyton can go get it.
So the Honkers take it over on downs at midfield. 8:47 left to go in the third quarter of play.
Well, and I guess if you're going for it there, you got a lot of trust in your defense, and obviously leading 27-0 helps as well on that decision. But again, love to see him play the percentages a little bit more.
Right. Well, you got to be thinking, because as you say, there will be more challenging matchups down the road. And you'll want to be well rehearsed in those situations when those come.
Absolutely.
Now it is Marcus with the football. Big carry there on first down.
Yeah, 15 yards and a first down for Lakeview.
Lakeview move the chains and work the ball down to the 37-yard line of Cascade Christian.
And when you give them the ball at the 50, they get a first down. They're now, clear down to the Challenger 37.
So substitutions in the ball game. See Jack Nips in there defensively at an end. Alves out of the shotgun. Marcus in the backfield with him. Full receiver set. And again to Marcus. Right there's Bryson Jackson for Cascade Christian.
Brings up second down.
As if to say, not on my watch you don't.
Yeah, no gain on the play. Nice job by Jackson making a hit right at the line of scrimmage and holding his ground.
And Marcus coming limping off the field. Checking into the Lakeview lineup, Matt Finetti, freshman running back. Also see Miles Maxwell, number 85, checking into the Lakeview lineup. So Finetti back there with Lim.
Penalty on the play.
See a flag on the play.
What's it call? Delay of game?
Might be too many players breaking from the huddle on Lakeview.
No. Illegal huddle. Too many players breaking from the huddle against Lakeview.
5 yards. Brings up second down. About 15.
So that'll be second down, 15 for Lakeview. Ball now at the Cascade Christian 42. 7:11 to go in the third quarter of play.
I think they might have too many players out there again. Let's see. I can't count very fast, but
Alves swings the pass to Granger. He gets away from Wilson.
Short pass to Grayson Granger.
And that'll bring up third down.
Actually lost a couple of yards on the play.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up third down and 17.
Third and long now. The Challenger defense stiffening here.
And we see a little bit of Drew Hall in the Challenger lineup. Nips will come out, and Mason Hoffman is in.
Yeah, Drew's a corner normally.
And man, does he give you some length at 6'3".
Yeah, and athleticism.
As we saw last week. Granger in motion. And pass. Complete. Maida with the catch.
By Nick Maida.
I don't know. It's going to look here like he should be pretty well short of the first down.
Gain of about
He got about 6 yards out of that game.
and about 11 for Lakeview from
4th and 11, but I would imagine they're going to go for it here. Really don't have anything to lose at this point.
4 down territory with the ball spotted at the 38-yard line of the Challengers.
And Lakeview's going to take a timeout.
Timeout called. Your John L. Scott scoreboard showing the Challengers 27 in the third quarter, Lakeview nothing. We'll be right back after these messages.
Mention a few of our sponsors in the fan club.
Where do you find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line.
For the first month only, right? That's how they get you.
For as long as I want. Why so skeptical?
I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line, even just one. Only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive US Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Let us fight.
Here on 4th down. Alves going long, and it's picked up by Freilich. Christopher Freilich picking it off, and the Challengers get it back.
Yeah, and you know, he could have just knocked that down.
Yeah.
But the challenge, I mean, it's great interception, don't get me wrong, but you knock the ball down, you get the ball up, where they threw it from. Here, he gets the interception and puts the Challengers deep in their own territory, almost like a punt, but, it's fine. Challengers get the football.
Yep, and the Challengers get it at the 20-yard line. Shields in at running back, behind the quarterback, Keith Reed.
Third interception of the night.
Shields with 2, and now Freilich with one of his own. In motion. Sample. He cuts back to the inside. Gets a nice block from Turi. Scampers up the left side. He's into Lakeview territory. And the Challengers get a big highlight run from Brody Sample.
35-yard run from Brody. So I guess, if you want to catch the ball and let Brody run for 35, now you're even further down the field than you were. There you go.
It all works out in the end.
Just one play.
Suba making the stop for Lakeview. 5:08 left to go in the third. 4 receivers set. Inside is Freilich and Peyton Maurer on the right side. And now it is Brody Sample. He'll scamper up the field. He'll cross the 20 down to the 26.
Sweep to the outside.
And you can see Brody taking advantage of his speed on the outside. And that's another 20-yard run, another first down for the Challengers.
Well, you got speed everywhere. We were talking a little bit earlier about Luke Wilson. And let's not forget about Tyler Almacy.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the game, there's that guy Cameron Ragu.
Yeah, who's not even playing tonight, who's got a ton of speed. So it's definitely been one of those games. And you can see Brody's getting a couple extra breaths here on this side of the field.
Now he's going to go in motion. Don't get too comfortable. And it'll be Reed rolling out to his left. Completes the pass to Shields. Shields gets across the 20 down to the 16. Stop made for Lakeview by Adrian Stubbs. And Stubbs has been a man on a mission defensively for the Lakeview Honkers this evening.
Well, but he missed Al Macy wide open in the end zone. There was nobody on him that time and could have easily thrown that for a touchdown. But he does pick up a nice 9-yard gain to Shields out of the backfield.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 1. Reed and Shields in the backfield. Split wide left is Drew Hall. Reed, little pitch play to Ashton Moody. Moody's going to go ahead and cut it to the outside. Gets it just inside the 10 before he's run out of bounds.
It picks up about 6 yards on the carry.
Well, when you think about some of the games that we have seen so far, you have to give some credit to Lakeview in that they have hung with the challengers a lot tougher than any team we've seen so far this year.
Absolutely true.
You think about it, the closest game they've had, 49-10 against North Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll be Reed with the football. Reed slips a tackler, and he runs it home, but we have a penalty flag at the goal line.
Runs into the end zone.
And I think there's probably going to be a hold on Al Macy out wide, is my guess.
In the meanwhile, Ashton Moody coming up just a little bit gimpy off the field. And now he'll come in with one of the challenger coaches for a word.
Penalties against Cascade Christian.
Holding.
Called back.
So that'll take it back to the 20-yard line.
That penalty moves the ball back to the Lakeview 20.
Wait, that is not the way you administer that penalty. If the penalty was at the 1, it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That is incorrectly administered penalty. It is not supposed to be at the 20. It's supposed to be at the 10. The penalty was at the 1.
It looks like...
and Getman's telling him that right now. If that penalty was at the 1-yard line, it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It is not a 10-yard from the line of scrimmage penalty.
So it looks like that discussion
is happening right now.
Yep.
And let's see if the referees can get this correct. Yes, yeah. That is not a correct. Yeah. So they're talking about that. And I don't know where they're coming up. Are they going to move the football? It doesn't look like they are. Okay. So Lakeview refs -1 on the ratings chart right now.
Yeah.
Because that is terrible.
That's
a 20-yard penalty instead of a 10-yard penalty.
Wow. Reed going to drop back, look to throw. Looking for Freilich. Can't connect. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Keith just throwing these balls a little bit high to his receivers down the field. Some of that rust, I think, he needs to shake off, so that's a good opportunity for him to do that. Coach Getman with, I think, a little bit of an encouraging word over there on the sideline and sends his quarterback back out there.
So that'll bring up 3rd and long for the challengers as Maurer lines up wide left. Trio of receivers to the right. Now Almacy goes to the left side. Reed looking for Maurer. Little pitch and catch there. He slips a tackler. Keeps working, struggling forward. And he scores.
Wow. Nice effort by Peyton Maurer to get in the end zone.
Peyton Maurer.
And I think he knocked the wind out of himself the way he dove for the end zone there. So give him a couple minutes to get his breath back. And he might have a cramp too. It looks like a couple of the guys stretching out some calf muscles there.
Well, look at all that. He's got about 6 guys he's carrying on his back, and he manages to bring it across.
Can't say he hasn't been in the weight room, I guess, huh?
No, you can't. And fortunately, you can see Peyton over here waving to the visiting faithful in attendance this night. Like, hey, I'm all right.
So, 20-yard touchdown. That should have been a 10-yard touchdown. I'm going to go back to that penalty for Peyton Maurer.
All's well that ends well.
There you go.
So now it looks like it'll be Mason Hoffman in to attempt the point after. And a flag on the play. And that penalty will be against the Honkers.
Yeah, and it should be 3/4 of the distance to the goal instead of half, I think. No, they're probably not going to do that.
I don't think they will.
Oh, boy.
Well, look to the sideline here, and look like now they're going to go ahead and just go for 2 here.
Why not, I guess? Make it a nice even 35.
And then Reed, he's going to go ahead and cut it to the outside.
And
brings it back in. And the Challengers with the 2-point conversion. 3:10 left to go in the third. The Challengers lead in the ball game 35-0. We will be right back after we take this timeout on TableRockSports.net.
New phone? Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer. Any brand? With any size? Mm-hmm. I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
3:10 left to go in the third. And Peyton Maurer, tell you what, he's one of those guys that has come up big tonight with a pair of touchdown receptions. And one of them, you talk about yards after the catch.
He worked hard to get in that end zone.
And here we go. And Mason continuing to grow in his craft. Drew Hall there with the stop on special teams.
Brings it up to about the Lakeview 16-yard line.
Yeah, that's some speed you're going to see on the basketball court here pretty soon, too.
Oh, I tell you what, if not for the fact that we have plenty of good football and then there's some other fun things, fall sports-wise, to look forward to, I got to tell you, there's another part of me, it can't wait for basketball season to start. As the Cascade Christian Challengers get set to defend their Oregon 3A title.
Well, we got lots of football left, though.
Yes, we do.
Lots of football. 2 more league games and, then the playoffs. So,
and you get this team healthy, look out.
Absolutely. They could go very deep, I think, in the playoffs. Timeout, Lakeview?
So the Honkers call a timeout. We will do the same. The Challengers will be 35-0. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
The entire crew at TNet Broadband.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RBTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
Yes, they are. You figured they would, or I figured they would.
Yeah, you'd think. Hey, coming right up, just about another week away, it'll be time for the Medford Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet at the Rogue Valley Country Club. Social hour at 5, followed by dinner and awards. Go to BedfordParksFoundation.org. Lakeview.
Marcus off tackle for a short gain.
Marcus.
About the 21, 22-yard line.
And he worked for all of 4 of those yards. I can tell you that.
He absolutely did. Challenger defense doing a good job of really bottling him up tonight. Lakeview has ran the ball 17 times for just 62 yards. So good job by that Challenger defense of keeping the run game in check. And you can tell they've gone to a lot of double tight end and 2 back sets trying to run the football, and the Challenger's just not going to let them do that.
Marcus, though, squirts through, and he'll pick up first down yardage.
Although there have been a few exceptions to that rule, like that one right there.
Looks like we had Brody Sample around the football along with Drew Hall.
33-yard line. Lakeview 1st and 10.
And Lakeview ends up moving the sticks.
Yeah, Marcus doesn't need a very big hole.
No, he doesn't.
He's a good back, and once he gets through that initial line of scrimmage, he starts accelerating and putting moves on people and heading down the field.
Well, Coach Getman knew coming into this that they would have to account for Mr. Marcus. Now they're going to go ahead and get it to Lim. A little change of pace.
It's Redden Lim with the carry.
Redden Lim picks up about 9 on the play.
Picks up about 6 yards. Brings up 2nd and 4 from the Lakeview 40-yard line.
We'll make it more like about a 2nd and 4. So gain of 6 on the play.
And a nice little drive started here for Lakeview.
Marcus is a junior. Lim just a sophomore. So the Honkers will be returning a lot of talent on this team next year.
And that's the end of the quarter.
The siren sounds, signaling the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Cascade Christian leading in this ball game, 35-0. We'll take a timeout, and when we return, we'll be back with the final frame. And that will follow these messages on Table Rock Sports.
You an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities, so when you hear that crash, think Bill's Glass. So the Honkers and a 2nd down and 4.
Red Lim stopped.
Lim wrapped up by Jackson Turi.
Loses about a yard.
And if you're the opposition, namely the Honkers, that never bodes well.
Nope. And a 3rd and 4 now for the Honkers from their own 39. And clock moving, and definitely in the Challengers' favor. 11 minutes and 30 seconds and running here in the 4th quarter. And the Challengers have come over here and done what they wanted to do, and that's take care of business against a 3-3 Lakeview Honker team that had been on a roll. They won their last 2.
To the ground once again, and I tell you what, wow. They just basically move the pile. Alves making a rare run this evening, and he'll pick up a Honkers first down.
Yeah, he got almost 8 yards on that run. That offensive line doing a good job of just pushing, wedging him down the field.
Well, I tell you what, he earned every one of them.
Yes, he did. So Lakeview now up to 85 yards rushing on the night, and this drive is staying alive. That's the third first down they've got on this drive.
1st and 10. The Honkers at their own 48. They'll hand the ball. Going to the outside is Marcus. Ashton Moody. And then it looks like we got a fumble. And there is Liam Benatti.
Recovered by Cascade Christian at the Lakeview.
So the Challenger defense coming up big again as just as Lakeview started to move the football, they forced the turnover, and Cascade Christian gets it back in Lakeview territory at the 44. So good job by that Challenger defense rallying to the football, and Marcus trying to bounce that outside, and just a great job of corralling him and getting the football back.
Challengers will come with Ashton Moody now as a slot receiver to the right side. Drew Hall in there along with them. Empty backfield, which usually means possibly a Keith Reed run. But no, he's going to throw here. Drops back, looks to throw.
Everything's high with Keith tonight. He's not striding out. He's getting that front shoulder up and not getting it down and driving the ball to the receiver. And you can see that a little bit with his throwing motion here. He had an open receiver out there. I think that was Moody, and just overthrew him.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 with 9:32 left to go in the ball game. Clock running.
Keith needs to make that adjustment with where he's releasing that ball. And, he'll get that done.
Yeah. Had a very strong and solid junior season. And they're going to go ahead and throw it over the left flat. Making the catch there is Brody Sample, Challenger leading receiver. And looks like he'll be just a little short of the
33-yard line.
first down. Nope, that's good enough to get a first down for the Challengers.
Yeah, just enough there. Brody Sample on the reception.
Sample coming into tonight's game with 16 catches on the season.
Challengers with now 120 yards through the air and 264 yards on the ground here of offense in this one.
Going in motion is Wilson. But Reed.
Good job by Lakeview of reading that. 3 guys in the backfield for Lakeview.
Hunter Greer. Also Marcus making a play defensively for Lakeview. Be a loss of yardage on the play to bring up a 2nd down and long.
Yeah, loss of about 3. And what do we have? A penalty flag? Personal foul against Lakeview. Ooh, that's a big one.
So the result of the penalty makes the Challengers' task a little bit easier.
So now the Challengers very deep in Lakeview territory. Cleared
down to the Lakeview Honker 17-yard line.
Clear down to the 17-yard lines of the Honkers.
First and 10. Challengers at the 17 of Lakeview. Reed out of the shotgun. Empty backfield. I'll get the clock running.
After the chains are set.
Reed looking left. And pressure as he tries to get away a throw.
Cascade Christian pass falls incomplete. Pressure brought on by Logan Suda.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Cascade.
And again, I'd love to see a tunnel screen here. See if we can throw one of those. We tried that earlier. It looked like it was open to Brody Sample, and didn't complete it.
Speaking of Sample, he's split out wide to the left. Slot receiver on his side is Tyler Almacy. Reed. Sample in motion. He'll go ahead and take off and run with it.
And it looks like we got a hold on the challengers.
So get that inside the 15-yard line.
And that'll be a holding against Cascade Christian.
Outside, but there's a penalty on the play against Cascade Christian. That'll be brought back.
So now watch, they're going to do it from the spot instead of from the... yeah. So they are, of course. They didn't do the one at the goal line down here from the spot, but they're going to do that one from the spot. Oh, boy. Gotta love the consistency, don't you?
Oh, yes.
And the challenge has been a little sloppy here in the second half.
They have. And that'll put the ball back at about the 32-yard line.
Lakeview 32-yard line.
Second, 20 for Cascade. In motion, Almacy, Reed, looking long, has a man down there, and the pass falls incomplete.
I couldn't see that. It looked like a pretty good throw that time.
It did.
I think that was Brody Sample, and he might have lost that in the lights based on the angle that ball was coming in at. Third down now for the challengers, and a long ways.
Covered by Denver Johnson on that play. Brings up third down and long.
So now it'll bring us to a third down and 20.
And if you're the challengers, you'd like to get this down to at least where it's either field goal range for Mason Hoffman or fourth and manageable. So let's see if they can pick up about 15 yards here.
Reed, pressure coming. Pass complete to Sample. Sample going to run it down to about where it should bring up about a fourth down and about 12.
Is there another flag? There is another flag on the field. Let's see what we've got out there. It's in the place of a receiver hold. No, it's a personal foul. For what?
The penalty is going to be on Cascade Christian.
Oh, boy. Now, what do you do if you're Lakeview? Do you take it or decline it? I think they're going to take it, looks like. And we don't really know what that was for. It's just a personal foul penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to bring the ball all the way back to the 42.
I wonder if they got anything in the playbook for that.
Yeah, third down and 35.
Brings up third and very long.
Kind of makes me think of that movie, The Paper Lion, when George Plimpton tried playing a quarterback for the Lions, and then it's like, you're moving the ball the wrong way. So it'll bring up a third and very long for Cascade. Reed dropping back, looking long, looking to throw, and that one's picked off. And it is Denver Johnson. Johnson gets it up to just outside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, he kind of saw that one coming. Keith panicked a little bit that time. A little good pressure from Lakeview, and he just kind of threw that one up. And well, you got to do something. It's fourth and forever. So I understand that, but you'd like to, it's almost a place on the field where you just punt the football.
Yeah. So Lakeview gets it back. One of the rare interceptions that the challengers have suffered this season. And now Alves drops back, looks to throw. His pass well over the head of his intended target, Granger.
Well, and if you look there carefully, you saw that he had some pressure right on top of him that time. He got knocked down right after he threw that ball.
Well, and as Keith Reed would attest, that those are the situations that where, when you talk about 3 things can happen on a pass play, 2 of them aren't good.
Yes.
Marcus with the football, breaking off a good run.
Brings it up to the Lakeview 46-yard line.
And a nice job that time by Almacy of making a good open field tackle.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down. We'll call it 4.
Brandon Marcus with the carry.
Brandon Marcus once again.
Close to a Lakeview first down.
And from here, it looks like it should bring up a 4th down and short.
What's the flag for? What are we doing? So there was a penalty flag thrown. And, they're measuring to see if it's a first down first, it looks like.
Measurement on this play.
So they have to measure to see if it's a first down before they take the penalty. And it is not a first down.
It is close.
And so now they can assess the penalty, I believe. Although, we may need a committee the way this is going.
Yeah. So
this is starting to look like the White House hearings.
Yeah. Need a select committee.
Yes. And then we finally take the 15-yard penalty.
Bipartisan, of course.
Of course.
So it'll be, well, stop me if you've heard this one before.
Yeah. And the clock's going to start.
3:06 left to go in the ball game.
This has been a really rough second half for both teams.
It has. This is probably not one of those that if you're one of the Challenger players that you want to show to the grandkids.
No, and now we're stopping the clock again because I think they have, I don't know what they're doing. Somebody's missing on a piece of equipment, I think. Maybe a mouth guard or something. And so he is removed from the field, I guess. I don't know. There's been some mystery things going on out here.
Yes.
Of course, we are in Lakeview. As we always say, it isn't the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
Yes. Yeah, as we came across Lawrence of Arabia on the way out here.
Oh, boy.
A beautiful night, but a long drive to get here.
And now Lakeview's taking a timeout.
Okay. When you reach that point that you can say no more, you go to break.
You go to break. That's a very good idea.
Let's do that now, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
New phone? Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Oh, 35-0 ball game with 2:23 left to go. Elves dropping back and looking way long downfield. Little foot race going on to the ball. They're looking for Brayson Granger.
Hey, great coverage that time by Drew Hall for the Challengers. And Cascade Christian will get the football back with 2 minutes and change to go here in the fourth quarter. And clock running, thankfully. And we'll see. I would assume we'd see some different Challenger players out here. But it looks like maybe they're just going to take a knee, which I think is more than appropriate at this point in the game.
Well, they'll get bunched up.
And we do have the victory. No, we don't have the victory cigar in. So I don't know what we're going to do, Jim. First time this year.
Cascade Christian takes a knee.
Well, maybe under these circumstances, like Kojak, maybe it's more like a victory lollipop.
Yeah, maybe it is. I got some of those in the car, I think.
So now that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 as this game winds down.
I suspect the Challengers will have to take at least one, well, probably 2 more knees, actually. We'll see. Watch the back judge. He'll put his hand up when we get to the 5-second mark on the play clock. And they'll take a knee. And I think they'll have to take one more about the 30-second mark, and that should do it. So, kind of a rough second half, but the Challengers get the job done. 35-0 here.
Not anything much in the way of a beauty contest, although we did see some good plays tonight. Some spectacular runs and the usual. Now the Challengers have surrendered just 22 points in 7 games.
Yeah, and the defense, again, just stellar for Cascade Christian. So, just a great job by the defense. Lakeview really not able to do much of anything with their offense all night long. Only in Challenger territory just a couple of times. And so all around, the little hit and miss on offense, but really good defensively for Cascade Christian.
All right, well, this will go ahead and put the wraps on today's game where the Cascade Christian Challengers defeat the Lakeview Honkers by a score of 35-0. Stick around when we return. We'll bring you the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign postgame show, and that will follow on TableRockSports.net.
Cascade Christian for coming over to.
How do you find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
I just got the best deal at US Cellular. Just $29 for one line.
For the first month only, right? That's how they get you.
For as long as I want. Why so skeptical?
I was told she'd weigh 30 pounds.
Get unlimited data for just $29 per line, even just one, only at US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Get one line for just $29 at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive US Cellular authorized agent. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Here at Lakeview, Cascade Christian running their record to 7-0 with a victory over the Lakeview Honkers. Recapping the scoring with 9:37 to go in the first. Keith Reed scored on a 32-yard touchdown run. Point after was good to make it 7-0. Then, just a little over 6 minutes later, it was Cole Shields getting into the act. He would scamper in, roll in on a 9-yard run. Right there. Shows some power running there, and he works his way in for the score. Then in the second quarter, we may not have caught that first touchdown run by Reed, but we definitely got the second one. Reed ends up running it in on a good fake handoff. And then he takes it in from 14 yards out. And rumbles ahead to extend the Challenger lead. Then as we close in on halftime, Challengers leading in the ball game. Reed, who had his ups and downs. Here's one of his positive moments of the ball game. He uncorks a long throw downfield to Peyton Maurer. Maurer makes the catch, runs it home on a 58-yard touchdown pass. And that gave us the halftime score of 27-0. Then in the second half, the Challengers, more points on the board. Keith Reed dropping back, throwing, completes the pass to Maurer. Maurer shows great effort as he just continues to drag defenders into the end zone. And the point after attempt by Hoffman, good. And that gave us their final score of the Challengers 35 and the Lakeview Honkers nothing. Mark is just putting the finishing touches here on the stats. I want to remind you that next week, Cascade Christian will technically be on the road, though they'll be on their home turf to play against the St. Mary's Crusaders. That will be streamed for you on TableRockSports.net with the opening kick getting underway at 7 o'clock. And what we'll do right now is I think we'll just take one more quick timeout, and then we'll be back as we wrap up our post-game report here on TableRockSports.net.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Hit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into Turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free. Add Crunch to your lunch as you head into Turn 3. Fuel up for the remainder of the race with your Peak Rewards app and save at least 16 cents a gallon. Your daily journey to the winner's circle starts at Pinnacle 365.
Getting ready to about call a night on this one as the Cascade Christian Challengers defeat the Lakeview Honkers by a score of 35-0. And right now, looks like Mark's just about ready with the final stats for the evening.
Yeah, I am, and interesting for Cascade Christian on the night. They do definitely, finish this game with the lead on the scoreboard, the lead in the stats. Even though it was a little bit ugly, a little bit rough for the Challengers, they take care of business tonight. First for Lakeview, statistically, they had 7 first downs in this game. They ran the ball 23 times for 94 yards, so about 3 yards a carry for the Honkers. 6 for 17 passing for only 22 yards. So the pass game really not there. The Challengers defensive backs doing a great job. Total offense for Lakeview, 116 yards running and passing, plus 35 yards in returns for 151 yards altogether. For Lakeview, they had 8 penalties for 62 yards, and they also had, they had the 3 interceptions, the 1 fumble that they lost, and 2 turnovers on down. So altogether, 6 turnovers by Lakeview, and the Challengers took advantage of those in most of the cases to turn those into points. For the Cascade Christian Challengers tonight, they had 15 first downs. They ran the ball 26 times for 261 yards, so right at the 10 yards of carry mark for the Challengers rushing the football. Passing, a little rough for Keith tonight, 8 for 21 for 120 yards, so 381 yards of offense for Challengers running and passing. They did have another 15 yards of returns for 396 yards of total offense. Challengers 6 penalties, 40 yards. And they did have that 1 fumble that they lost in the first half. But, all in all, when you come over here to Lakeview, it's always different. It's always hard to win over here. No matter how good a team you are, there's always different circumstances that seem to happen over here in the Twilight Zone. So good job by the Challengers of sticking with it and getting the job done as they win 35-0.
Well, that'll wrap up tonight's broadcast. We thank you for watching. And our thanks to Grace Cascade High School Athletic Director Nate Maven for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Night on TableRockSports.net. Also our thanks to the athletic department over at Lakeview for hosting us. And our special thanks to the head coaches of Cascade Christian and Lakeview. Our next Table Rock Sports production featuring the Challengers will be Friday night against St. Mary's. Make sure you check out all the action. Again, the final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard is Cascade Christian 35 and Lakeview nothing. This has been a special presentation of Table Rock Sports. Our executive producer is Joe Brett. With Mark McLemore and Taylor Franklin, I'm Jim McCoy saying thanks for watching and good night from Lakeview High School in Lakeview, Oregon.